Robin Casey here at Your Own Pace Crafting. Today is Thursday. Gotta look. Y'all know I can't remember the date. What's the month? May 21st. Oh my gosh. I thought that since I'm feeling better that my mind would be working. Anyway, okay. We're just gonna plow right ahead, right? But anyway, yes, I am feeling much better this week. Thank y'all for your concern, your care, reaching out. I appreciate it. All right, today we are going to be working on Christmas cards because y'all know that's my thing this year is I'm wanting to get ahead. I'll pull in the box and let's see. Let me just go ahead and cut down so y'all can see my box. Okay, so here's my box. You see it's starting to get full. I've given up on the lid because we're getting full. Not really full, but we're adding to it, which is great. It makes me very happy. Okay, so I found the Christmas Wishes card kit and from a couple of years ago, and I put it together and I love the cards. They're beautiful. I'll go ahead and show you the cards. I'm sorry you can't get this kit anymore, but don't fear, we've got a plan today. So isn't that pretty? So pretty on the inside. And then the envelope, it came with a sticker that you could put on the front in gold envelope, really pretty. And then this was the other card, Merry Merry Merry, same thing on the inside and same envelope. So we're going to go ahead and put these two cards in the box, and here we go. Wait, let me put the Merry Marys together here. Okay, there we go. And so I wanted to do a Christmas card kit. So right now Stampin' Up has two kits, I believe. So I chose the Calm and Bright kit. This kit, these cards are so beautiful. I really thought they were pretty. I love the non-traditional colors, the pinks and the light greens. I really like that. So I wanted to do this. But when I put these cards together, my goodness, they are detailed and they are precious and layered. So we're going to get right into it because these cards, they're not hard. A little bit labor intensive, I'm just going to say. But I will show you the cards. All right, so this is the first one. Merry Christmas from our house to yours. And I don't know if you can see this dimension, but yeah, really, really pretty. And the envelopes are the same for all the cards. Have this actually, I think, is for the stamp that comes in the card kit, and you'll see it. We use it quite a bit, and I'm not very good with it. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it, I think, but maybe I'll get better doing some more cards. And then the Sending Joy. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the one that opens this way, okay? And I'm going to give you little hints and tips and tricks along the way. Okay, all is calm, all is bright. Isn't that pretty? Just like that. Okay, so the first one we are doing is the Merry Christmas from our house to yours. So I've already pulled all the supplies, got them pulled in here. Now, if you have never done a Stampin' Up kit, it comes with everything in a little box, and it even comes with the description stamp artwork sheet that you can attach to your stamp set if you want to, and you can keep it forever because these are great stamp sets. And so all of this comes in your box. It's all wrapped up, and then you have your instructions. Okay, instructions. What I like to do when I start to do a kit, I'll just open up the instructions and show you what they look like. And then you have this side. Okay. What I like to do is go to the page that has each project, and it tells you what supplies you're using with each project. So we are doing project 1. I've already pulled all these supplies, and then once you do that, you can go to the page in the brochure that shows you what to do step by step. Don't get overwhelmed. I personally tend to get a little overwhelmed. So I have to stop myself and calm myself and say, Robin, just do step 1 and then step 2 and then step 3 and then step 4. And you do it like that and it's great. It just goes so smoothly. So let's get out our instructions. We've got our supplies. I've got, let's see, this one comes with the Lost Lagoon stamp set. I have already cut that apart. We're going to do all of our stamping first. Your kits also come with a stamp block. I don't really care for this stamp block. I just don't like the size of it and I don't like the thickness of it. I am still using my old Close to My Heart blocks. Stampin' Up! Has wonderful blocks also. I just had a lot of Close to My Heart blocks, so I'm still using them. I have not had the need to replace them or buy more. But find blocks that you like and that work for you. So here's the stamp set. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this plastic cover sheet off. This is the stamp that I'm talking about that I got a little love-hate relationship with here. I think it's cute, but I'm having a hard time making it pretty like it looks like on the cards. But like I said, maybe I'll get better. Okay, so we've got our stamp on our block. We've got our ink. And what we are going to do is put the stamp on this piece. I don't know if you can see this, but this piece has detail. Oh, I don't know. There. Okay, you see it? How it has the little dots all around? And I'm going to go ahead and apologize for chips in my nails. You're going to see me using my nails a lot. And I apologize for that, but that's the way it is. It's not the day to redo my nails. Okay, first, what I want to do is go ahead and wrap my thread around this piece. And it tells you in your instructions to cut 30 inches. I don't really feel like doing that. And it also shows, look, it shows that they tied a bow underneath. I'm not doing that either. So I'm going to give you my little trick. Okay, I am going to kind of measure out about 24 inches. And also, okay, and then I just run it through my Simply chamois just to get the wigglies out, the creases out. In your instruction brochure comes a ruler. So if you want to measure, you can. Okay, let me get back to 1. Here we are. Okay, this is my little hint. I'm not cutting it off. What I'm going to do is start with it on the back here. And I'm putting it about oh no, this one goes in the middle. Yeah, sorry. Glad I looked. This one goes about in the middle. Okay, so I got it about where I want it. And I'm going to just turn it over. And I'm going to get out some really, I mean, this is just a supply that's so hard to get. I'm kidding. Scotch tape. Just going to put a little piece of tape over there. All right. And then I'm just going to wind around sort of like they did. Make it a little off. Not all lined up. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut in the back, tape it up, because we're going to be putting this on the front, on the card front, and nobody's going to see it because we're going to be adhering it to the card front. So I don't really feel like I need to tie a pretty bow when nobody's going to see it. We're going to save our bow tying skills for other things, because trust me, we're going to be tying lots of bows. And that's why you're going to see my chipped nails. Okay, there you go. So that's ready for when we need it. All right, so the step, I don't know if you can kind of pull these in. So we've got our stamp, and then we are going to, I'm sorry, get this piece back out because we're going to stamp around the yarn. That's why I wanted to go ahead and put it on there. Okay, I have found that this little Stampin' spot, I don't want to say it's juicy, but you don't need much. And you don't need to put much pressure when you stamp either. I made that mistake, and I've already adhered it so you can't see, but trust me, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of strength. All right, so we'll just put this here. See, I don't know. Just me and this stamp set, we're not getting along, or this one particular stamp. Okay, and then we'll put another bunch over here, and then we will put another bunch. I'm just turning the stamp just to match what they did. Put another about right there. Okay. Yeah, it just does not look real good. I'm going to need to really practice with that one. Okay. The next stamp we're using is the From Our House to Yours. So let's pull that one off right here. And I'll go over my trick again on how to hopefully get your stamp straight on your block. Lay it down on grid paper or on your glass mat, just something that will make it straight for you. And then I take my block, which has a nice line on it, so I can line it up with the line. That's pretty good. But if you don't have a line on your block, just line up the edge. Works just as well. I don't even know if that's straight. It'll do. Okay, and this, we're putting it on this little tiny piece of paper. So we want to get that straight as we can. And then we're going to ink up. Again, we don't need too much ink. This little Stampin' spot is good. Okay, and I believe this is over just a little toward the right edge. It's not centered, just a little to the right edge. And it shows you that in your instructions. So when you are working on a kit, just follow the instructions. There you go. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Next, we are going to put the adhesives on like it shows you to do. So when it has a little dot, it means these little circles. And these come in your kits. And so with this one, they're wanting 3 dots. 1 on each end, sort of, and 1 in the middle. So we're just going to leave the backing on because we're not ready to adhere this yet to our piece because we have to stamp on that piece. And we will set this aside because you are ready to go. All right, see? Okay, we're already on number 2. So this one, number 2, uses the small star. Small star in a circle. And these stamps are tiny. Trust me when I say they're tiny, and be careful because I lost one. But I found it, but I lost one. Okay, we're going to put this little star in a circle on this little tag, little tiny tag. Okay, again, don't need much. And just put it on there. Don't need to press down too hard. There we go. Pretty good. I did good on that one. Okay, and then our next stamp is the Merry Christmas. And this is a bigger one. And let's set our little tag aside. Okay, let's get our stamp straight. And this really kind of takes up my whole block here, but it's good. Okay, and then this is what we are stamping the Merry Christmas on. And as you see in the instructions, it shows you stamp it up toward the top, okay? Like I said, just follow what the instructions tell you to do. And I don't think I've told y'all, but I believe this is correct. This is what I heard a long time ago, that Stampin' Up! Is an international company, and so that's why they do not put writing in their kit instructions, because they would have to do it for all languages, and so they just do pictures. There, that looks good. So that's why there's pictures. And once you get used to the pictures, they're all the instructions for all the kits are pretty much the same. You kind of get a good feel for it. Okay, we're done with stamping on this particular card. Okay, so we've got our Merry Christmas. Let's go ahead and turn it over and put our dimensionals on. Okay, this kit came with the small dimensionals. I'll go ahead and use them on these, but I pulled out some bigger ones. These are the mini baby dimensionals. Okay, and it said to put it down here at the bottom. So just follow the instructions. Place things where they tell you to place them, because otherwise something will not go right. But anyway, I pulled out some bigger dimensionals because we're going to attach these panels to the fronts of the cards, and I'd rather use the bigger ones than the little ones. Okay, so we have that on the back, and then this is where we're going to pull off the backing for from our house to yours piece, because it goes on the bottom of this Merry Christmas piece. So I'm just going to put it as far over to the left as I can without it going off. And I'm sorry if y'all are seeing the top of my head, but I got to get in here close. Okay, because it's going to hang off a little bit off the right, and that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. Now, I did learn to go ahead and put my pink dots on first, rather than after I put on the holly leaf, because, well, actually it was because of the tag. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and do it now. And that holly leaf actually goes under, but we can get it on there. It'll be fine. Okay, so put one there. And these little guys, be careful. They will jump out and go under your desk and hide and never come out until maybe you sweep. Then you might find them. Then you might not. Okay. And there's the third one. Okay, so let me get one of our little leaves here. Okay, they want you to put an adhesive dot on the back here. I didn't do it because it doesn't touch anything, because this is popped up. So I didn't do it, and it turned out just fine. Okay, so what I'm doing is just kind of lifting that up a little bit. Lifting the From Our House to Yours sentiment strip, and just kind of tucked the leaf under using the adhesive that's already there, and that looks fine. Okay, now we need to put because we're done with step 2. Now we're moving on to step 3. We're going to put our dimensionals on the back of our piece that has our twine on it. That is going to go on the front of the card base. I really like this tone-on-tone white. I think it's very pretty. And yes, I use a lot of dimensionals. I think we've been over that before. I don't care. I like to make sure that things aren't going to get saggy in the middle. And I'm just going to leave that there because I'm pretty saggy in the middle myself. Haven't been able to get back to exercising. Just been really busy, but it's okay. I will get to it again. All right, so here's our card front, and this goes on as centered as you can get it. That's about as good as it's going to get. Okay, and now we will take the backing off our baby dimensionals and put this on the front of that piece, right in the middle on the twine, just like that. Okay, all right, we're done with step number 3 already. So here we go, step number 4. This is where we're going to apply all of our adhesives to our pieces so that we can get them on the card. Okay, got that turned to the back, this turned to the back. What other piece? We're gonna have this little house, and we're gonna have this, but first we're gonna tie a little bow on that. And by little, I mean little. The instructions tell you to cut. Here, let's go ahead and put a dimensional on the holly. Yeah, just right in the middle. Because what they want you to do with this is, looks like we're going to adhere one of the pieces to the other, and then we're going to put this holly leaf on the dimensional. We'll just go ahead and take the backing off and just get it on there. Yeah. Okay, we'll just set this over here until we're ready to put it on the card. Okay, the instructions want you to cut 5 inches. I am going to cut the 5 inches of the thread for this. There we are. And what I decided to do was to loop it into the tag and tie my bow that way. I thought, we'll try it and see. And it worked pretty good. So let's try that again. I will try to get this even. I'm not real good with that. But we have, I think we have enough to work with. But yeah, fingernails really come into play here. And if you don't have any, it makes it a little difficult, I imagine. And my nails, well, some are long. I really need to trim them, and I will do that when I do my nails again. Okay, so there's the little bow, and by little, I mean little bow. Turned out all right. And then I'll just snip off this tail over here, and that looks pretty good. And so then we're going to put a dimensional on the back of this. So you see what I mean by how layered it is. And then they want a dimensional on the little house, so we will put one right there. Okay, and so now it's just time to get everything layered up on here. All right, so we're going to take this white piece with the green holly, and we're going to put it over here with this other holly. Okay, I'm trying to get that little point under. It may not work. It may just have to live right next to it. But There. Okay, I actually kind of like that with the white going up underneath rather than coming down. And that's the beauty of these kits, is you can assemble these cards however you want to, because I can guarantee you, when somebody gets this in the mail from you, they are not going to say, oh, that card is not exactly like it's supposed to be. It's not just like the instructions, because they don't know. They just see a wonderful, beautiful card coming to them that was clearly handmade. All right, so I just put the tag over here, just kind of layered it up on the other pieces, the holly and the white leaves, and then our little house goes on top. And there you are. There is the first card. But you see how detailed and layered these are, but they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so now let's bring in card number 2. Okay, card number 2. And here are our instructions. Okay, so first thing we're going to do with this is we are going to tie ribbon around the card base. This is the card that opens this way. So instead of putting the tape, and I'm doing the same thing on this one, instead of putting the tape on the inside, I'm putting the tape on the outside, because we are going to be putting a piece, this piece, over it, and no one will know. Guaranteed. So, get out my little expensive piece of equipment here, my Scotch tape, and we're going to do the same thing. Just wrap it around and give us to where we have 3, looks like 3 times wrapped around, and I'm going to cut it and then use tape to finish that off. And the reason I don't measure it is I don't think you need all that, and we may have some left over that we can use on another project. So that's my frugal coming out. Okay, so now since we've done that, we're going to pull out this piece that looks like a little notebook piece of paper. We are going to get out that stamp that I don't like, because I don't do it well. And we're going to stamp on our little notebook sheet. Now, thankfully, we're only stamping 2 times on this one. So, ooh, that could have been a disaster. Maybe I can do better stamping just 2 times. All right. You'll see when you use this stamp that it has a little star at the bottom, so you know which direction the stamp goes based on the instructions. Okay, I did a little bit better. I think I'm getting better with that. Now we're going to pull out this one. Let me tell you something. This was really hard. It looks it looks like it's going to be just a simple little stamp. Well, this particular stamp, I don't know. It is very detailed. I don't know. I'm just telling you, when you do this circle, bigger circle with the star in it, you do not need much ink at all. And you do not need to put much pressure on at all. It has a tiny little outline of a star. And if you put too much pressure, you don't get that pretty outline. Okay. Ooh, I did better than I did with my other attempts on that one. That's a hard one. Just to give you a heads up on that. Okay, so we have that, and now we're going to move on to what's next? All right, follow the instructions. Don't get overwhelmed. I'm talking to myself. Okay, step number 2. We're pulling out our ornaments, and we are going to pull out our snowflake. And the snowflake is going to go in these little circles on the ornaments. And it really is cute. It's a very cute touch, I think. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. And then we're going to pull out our little white ruffly square, which I think I must have had ink on my hand. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, oh my gosh. Now that was dumb. I didn't lose anything. But another tip, don't blow on your craft table when you have little tiny pieces around. Okay. So here's our little ruffle piece. We're going to be stamping Sending Joy. Okay, so let's get our Sending Joy stamp. And we're going to line it up. And then it is going to fit on this little tiny square, believe it or not. Okay, I'm just seasoning a little bit. Just to have it. Okay. And then this goes toward the bottom of the paper. It shows you that in the instructions. Apologies for my head again. Okay. There. I got it a little bit close to the edge, but it's okay. All right, now what we're doing, and again, just follow the instructions. Take your ornaments. We're going to put adhesive. Here they are. Put our little adhesive dot on the front of the ornament. Okay, because these are going to be attached to the back of this. So let's go ahead and attach these to the back of the Sending Joy card so that we can then put our dimensionals on, and it'll be ready to go when we're ready to adhere. Okay, so just attach that, and then we'll turn it over so you see it's just attached to the back, and we will put our dimensionals like they show us to. One up here, and one here, and one here, one here, and one here. Okay, and I'm just going to set this aside because we're not ready to use this. All right, we are done with step 2, and we're done with our stamping for this card. All right, we are going to turn this over and put dimensionals on the back. I'm using the bigger dimensionals because I just like that. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and attach this to the card front. We'll build the rest of our card with this on the card front. Okay. All right, and just center this on here as best we can. There we go. And see, nobody is ever going to know that there is Scotch tape underneath this piece unless you tell them. All right, we will take our dimensionals off of our combined Sending Joy piece and ornaments piece. Go ahead and put that on the card front. And then we'll be attaching little pieces of adhesive. And then the picture shows that this comes off, this oval ornament comes off the notebook piece just a little bit. So that's how I did it, just like they showed us. Okay, then we're going to take our greenery pieces. Now let's turn them upside down so we know where we're putting things. And then we have our white. I hesitate to call them white greenery pieces, but that's kind of what they are, right? Okay, do that. Then let's go ahead and put our adhesives on these pieces just to get them done. Okay. And then we are going to work on our little bow with this ornament piece. All right, now for this one, they only want you to cut 4 inches. Well, we'll do it. I mean, I got it to work, but again, if you don't have fingernails, it would be hard. But look, we still have a lot of white twine available, so that's fabulous. Because I do use white twine, so I'm sure y'all do too. Okay, we've got this in here. Let's tie our little knot. Hopefully we're pretty centered. And then we'll tie our little bow. Oh, this is really testing my bow tying skills, isn't it? And I can't believe I'm doing this on camera. Again, we'll sit back. Y'all can't see me, but I'm sitting back because this frustrates me. Tying these little tiny bows. Oh, I can't. Oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay. If we don't do it this time, I'm not going to make y'all sit here and watch me do this. Because it's painful. It is painful to have to sit and watch somebody do this. Oh my word. Well, I think we got it. Woohoo! Success! That was hard. Oh my goodness gracious, that was hard. Okay. Snip off a little bit. And there we go. Then I think, yes, we want a dimensional on the back of that. Okay, I thought for a minute that was going to be really bad, but we survived, didn't we? Like Gloria Gaynor says, I will survive. Okay. All right, so now we have our pink poinsettias or poinsettias, depending on how you say it. I've always said it poinsettias, but then I hear some people say poinsettia. So maybe that's your homework, is to look it up, the correct pronunciation, and comment below. Let me know what is the correct pronunciation so that I know how to pronounce it right. And all they had us do was offset the flowers so you can see both colors. Okay, let's put on our little adhesive circles here. Okay, then we're going to set this aside for just a second because we've got other pieces to put on first before we put on our white dots. Okay, so first we're going to put on the greenery. Peeling off the backing on this adhesive circles, and we're just going to put them. What I did is I just kind of put them to where they were meeting at the top and over as close to the sending as I could get them, because we're going to be putting the poinsettias on top of that. Okay, now we have our white greenery. That sounds so weird. And we're going to put that on top of the greenery. Do you ever just say things like that that make you laugh and probably nobody else thinks it's funny, but you think it's funny? That's one of those things that, for me, that's funny. Okay, and then we're going to put on our pink poinsettia on top of here to cover this up. And I also don't want it to cover up the sending. And then we're going to go ahead and put our white dots on before we put on our ornament, because I want to make sure that we get these white dots on, because that's what I did the first time. The first batch that I did is I put everything on first and then put these little guys on last, and it was kind of hard working around everybody, all the other pieces. Okay, you get on up there. There we go. And last one. What do y'all use to put your little tiny embellishments on? I've just always liked using the little tiny scissors. But I know some people use tweezers, some people use their fingernails, some people use, take your pick tool. Okay, and then we're going to put on our ornament, and then we're done with this card. Oh, I had already taken off the backing. Okay, and there we go. So pretty. Wow, yes, these are really so pretty and just, like I said, detailed and layered, and they're going to be very special to whoever gets these cards at Christmas time. Okay, now our last card, I did not pull the pieces because I wanted you all to see the process of pulling your pieces from the different what would you call, I guess, the different I don't know what to call them, different sheets that come in the kits. Okay, you know, we find these white things everywhere all the time. Okay, so here we have our envelope. So go ahead and pull our envelope. I wanted to show you this too, that this little notebook piece sometimes comes with a lot of little pieces in it, so you have to pull those out first before you get into making your card. All right, here's the envelope, and then we have a little white strip. And so let's find where the little white strip is on these sheets here. Not there. And then these, some of them came separated with tissue, which was really nice. Okay, and so you get extras of things, which is nice in case you mess something up. Okay, there's our little white strip, and while we're here, let's get out our ornament. And then, yeah, while we're back here, let's get out our white trees. Okay, and we need a big white tree and a little white tree. Okay, and then let's get out our other colored trees. And so those are, oh, here's our card also. Let's go ahead and get our card out. Okay, and Oh, here we've got this one. Okay, so we need a light pink tree and a dark pink tree, and then we need a light green tree and a dark green tree, and then we need a big green tree, and I believe that is it. Oh no, then we need our deer, and here's our little deer, and then we need the white greenery again. Sounds weird to say that. You know, this almost looks like fish bones. I must be hungry. We're having chicken casserole for dinner, and then I'm going to make strawberry shortcake for dessert, which I'm very excited about that. I love strawberry shortcake. Okay, so there are all of our pieces, and that's as easy as it is. You just follow what you need, pull them off the sheets, and then you can get started. Oh, I think there was one thing I missed. It's the little square. Yes. Here, sorry. The square that has the design around the edge. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to see, but it's there. Okay, so back to our instructions. Step number 1, we're going to take our snowflake and stamp it onto our ornament. And they decided to go ahead and get the ribbon tying out of the way right off the bat on this card. Well, come on. All right, here we go. Ink. Okay, let's get our snowflake onto our ornament. Very nice. And then we will go ahead and stamp. All is calm, all is bright. Let's get it, if we can get it straight. Okay. There we go. And that goes on to our little tiny white strip. And the instructions show you to make sure that it is a little bit to the left, because we're going to put the little deer on the right. So we don't want it centered. We want it a little bit off center with a bigger space to the right. Okay. All right, what is next? So we'll put this up just for now, but we're going to get 5 inches of twine so that we can tie our bow. Oh, man. I almost cut my fingernail. That's what. And my thumbs are the worst for splitting, so that would be really bad if I did that. I have such a hard time with my thumbnails. Every other nail is great and grows great. And these, yes, these are my real nails. Okay, let's tie our bow, and we're going to do much better with this one. I can just feel it. That extra inch of twine, it's amazing how that makes a difference, right? There, see how quick that was just by having 5 inches instead of 4. That extra little inch. Let's see. I want to pull a little bit more off there. Yeah. There we go. All right, trim you down. Okay. My scissors are a little sticky from some adhesive I was cutting earlier. So, sorry about that. There, that's better. Okay, and then we will go ahead and put our dimensional on the back. So that's all ready to go. And we will put our dimensional on the back here. Now for this one, they want us to put a dimensional on each end and then put a little bit of adhesive in the middle. Okay, I thought, why? Well, you'll see, but it goes on top of the tree that is popped up. So it makes sense when you get to where you're going to do it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just leave this way because the backing came off. Okay, so we're done with step 1. Step 2, my favorite stamp. We're going to use this for the last time today. And on this one, we're just kind of stamping. It's like a nighttime scene. So it really is pretty how it all turns out. I'm getting better at this one. Okay, then we'll turn it this way. And come in here. And then, yeah, leave it going this way and have more stars up here. And then we'll do another one this way. And then we'll turn it and come in this way. There. Okay, I'm getting better with this little stamp. It just takes practice, so don't give up and get frustrated like me. You can do it. All right, let's go ahead and put our bigger dimensionals on this piece. And y'all, we're almost done with 3 cards. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Taking off all these backings. Okay. Here is our card base, and we are going to attach our card base to the center, or sorry, our card panel to the center of the card base. Now, let's see if we can get our little trees organized here, because this is not what I did at first, and when I did it before, and I should have. Okay, and so then this is your dark tree. This is your light green. This is your dark pink. This is the light pink. And this is the big green. Okay, so we're going to put on the white trees are going to be flat on the card panel. And then everybody, oh no, the green ones are flat also. The little light green and dark green, they are flat as well. Okay. And really, the placement of these trees, I did it, but mine does not look exactly like the picture of the card, and I'm okay with that. I thought that it turned out really cute, and this one is probably going to turn out different, because that's what happens. I sort of measured. I'll show you how I did it, because I sort of measured, but not really. Okay, so what I did is I had this card. Let's just say, okay, so it's 5.5 inches across. So 2 3/4 is the middle. So 6 plus 2 3/4 would be 8.75. So that's where I put this green tree, was at 8.75, the middle of it, and just kind of let it sit there. And then I built the card pieces around that. So this is the big white tree that's going flat. And so it kind of looks like it comes in close to the green tree. And then you have your small white, and it's on the other side, and it just kind of goes a little more centered, because you're going to have your pink on one side and your green on the other side. And so then let's put our darker green over here, and I'm kind of just lining it up right with the white one with the little space so that the pink can sit in between, popped up. Okay, then the green, kind of just putting it close to the white, a little bit below. And so now this is our dark pink, and we'll just put that right there, and then put our light pink in between the white and the green. And I just think this is so pretty. And then our green goes there. So you see, it does not look exactly like what they pictured here, but like I said, I'm fine with it. I like what I did. There. Oh, I really like that. Okay, and so we're almost done, guys. Almost done. We're going to turn our greenery over so that we can get our adhesive on. Turn our little deer over. We have our all is calm and bright, and we have our ornament. So every piece is ready. We're just going to put a little adhesive dot on the end of the fish bones. That's just what I'm going to call it, because that's what it looks like to me. And then we'll put a little adhesive dot in the middle of our deer. Okay, he's the cutest little deer. Okay, let's peel off our adhesive dot and our other adhesive dot. And I don't know, I really kind of struggled with putting these on here. There. Okay, I'm just going to do them separate this time, because I think I did them together. And then you want to make sure that the end is not showing. So to me, this was a little challenging. And really, it's not that challenging. It's just lining everything up so that you're not seeing the end of the greenery. And you know what? I could just snip it off. Why didn't I think of that before? Yeah. There's no rule saying that you can't do that. Okay, let's put our little deer on right here. He's so cute. And then we can take the backing off of this dimensional, mini dimensional, and put our ornament. Well, I think what I'll do is wait to put the ornament on until I get this on, this piece on. And this piece, your sentiment, just goes over the top. Just like that, just centered on your trees, but toward the bottom. And you see, that's why you need that little bit of adhesive right there so it's attached to your tree. And then, yes, I think, do I want to do it? Ooh, I think I kind of want to do it like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh, and then we have to do our white dots. And then we will be done. These really are pretty quick cards. Here, put one right here. And they turn out really pretty. And if you do this now, because I know, like I said, this kit is available now, then just think you'll have 9 cards ready for Christmas. All right, there's that one. And that is it. Okay, thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me and watching all my antics and listening to me. I appreciate it so much. I hope that y'all enjoyed these cards. I think they're so beautiful, and I know that anybody would love to get any one of these Christmas cards when December comes along. So, all right, that's it for today. If there's really not a written tutorial for this because it's just the kit, but newsletters do go out, and there's more in the newsletters than just a written free tutorial. There's other things in the newsletter. So if you want to be added to the newsletter list, you can go to my Facebook page at Your Own Pace Crafting. Click the little button that says sign up. Sign up, that gets you on the email list. Emails go out on Fridays, or you can send me an email too at yourownpacecrafting@gmail.com. And make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't ever miss anything that we're doing here on our channel. And yeah, make some comments. Tell me if you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing, if there's something else that you want to see. I'm all ears. I'm interested to hear what you guys want to tell me. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.